Hey guys, I've never done a video addressing one comment. I've done videos addressing several comments, but this comment was so bad, so ugly, so absolutely disgusting that I'm just trying to wrap my head around how somebody could even come to this conclusion. It's mind-boggling, but the sad fact is, and I know the vast majority of you guys would never think like this, but the sad fact is we have a society that created this, and it's not that far-fetched. Like, I could see why other people, like, I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me, but I could almost see, because of what's out there in the mainstream media and everything else, why somebody might come to this conclusion. And I don't want to get political, but like in this grand scheme of things, you got people in the center, that's fine. You got people on the left, you got people on the right, that's fine. You got people on the far left, far right, that's still pretty fine. But then you get so far extreme that the political spectrum, like, it's not even a line, like, it's really a circle. And when you get so far extreme, like, they all kind of end up in the same place in this area that I would just call pure lunacy. But anyway, we're going to get to what all the fuss is about. If you want to help support the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and let's put a positive spin on this. So even though it stemmed from something really ugly, there is a message here and a point I want to make, and a mini rant I want to go on. I mean, I'm wearing a pink shirt on purpose because it's calming, and I want to try to remain calm, trying to talk about this, and I'm not even going to make sense of it. I'm just going to say this guy's mind is, he's been severely brainwashed, unfortunately. So the silver lining is this kind of forced me to make a video on Jean-Claude Van Damme, which has been a while, and I love making videos on Jean-Claude Van Damme. So this stemmed from the video I did, Jean-Claude Van Damme is the best on-screen fighter ever. Andrew Lee says, "You're effing crazy. Donnie Yen is 100 times better than JCVD." Okay, so the first part of that comment, that's fine. I mean, obviously he's exaggerating when he says 100 times better. But again, I've had people reply to this video saying, "You're wrong. Bruce Lee's better. Tony Jaa's better. Scott Adkins better. Michael Jai White better. Whatever." Everyone's got their opinion. If you guys want to make a video saying who you think the best on-screen fighter is, I would love to watch it. Just plead a good case. So in my opinion, and it's not just mine, because I had a lot of people agree with me on Jean-Claude Van Damme, okay, that's fine. Agree to disagree, say it's someone else, perfectly fine. But it's the latter half of this comment that is absolutely disgusting. So he continues, "All of the Hong Kong action stars are," okay, so whatever. He thinks all the Hong Kong action stars are better than Van Damme as on-screen fighter, fine. Then he says, "effing white supremacists thinking." So wait a minute here.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Oh.
I replied, "The last part of your comment is absolutely disgusting. There are millions of people across the world, all races, who would agree Van Damme is the best on-screen fighter, and it has nothing to do with white supremacist thinking. No one cares that Van Damme happens to be from Belgium. We care that he has such grace and beauty in his martial arts technique. Perhaps you shouldn't be so fixated on someone's race." And I'll go deeper into this, but it's funny because I was talking to the strongest man in Tennessee, Eddie Swanson. Hey,
Yeah.
real quick, out of curiosity, because obviously I'm growing my channel, it's getting some momentum, but I'm always curious, like, how did you find one of my videos? Did it pop up as like a recommended video, or were you searching for something I might have talked about, or?
Actually, I was searching Van Damme.
Oh, well, I hope my channel pops up then.
Yeah, because Van Damme is one of my favorite martial artists.
I'm going to be posting some videos of our discussions, some really cool discussions on working out and weightlifting in general. But this kind of came up in our conversation because I wanted to tell him, like, you wouldn't believe what somebody said if you like Jean-Claude Van Damme. You have a way of thinking like this. And Eddie Swanson, by the way, is a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, big Bruce Lee fan, fan of a lot of different guys. And again, it has nothing to do with their race. But anyway, here's a part of the discussion I had with Eddie about this and how it actually came up.
And I was watching one of your videos as well when a guy was, he commented about, he said something about another white boy
Oh, yeah, as if like I'm not allowed to talk about Michael Jai White because he's black. I'm just like, well, I mean, I'm sure Michael Jai White wants everybody to talk about him and to watch his movies, you
Right,
know?
right. And the thing about it is, being a black man, I understand the trials and tribulations that we go through, being black and everything. But everything is not about color, you know, and stuff like that. And what you're doing is not about color,
Yeah,
you
not at
know.
all. I mean, that thought didn't even cross my mind. I'm like, I'm just talking about Michael Jai White. He happens to be a
Right,
dude in martial arts movies. Like,
right.
I mean, he's black, sure, but like, that's okay, you
You know,
know?
because like you made the comparison about, you was talking about Mr. T,
Yeah.
and everything,
Well, you're
and
praising Mr. T, but again, we don't really care what his race is. He's Mr. T, man.
yeah. So I was like that comment when I listened to it, that comment just really didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I'm going to do a video and go on a little rant tomorrow because I want to do like a whole video on this and make a point. Uh, Basically, somebody had commented on like my Jean-Claude Van Damme video where I said, you know, at least for me, and there's a lot of people that agree with me, like I'm going to call him the best on-screen fighter ever, and I'm going to give various reasons. And a
Right,
lot of it has to do with just the way he presents himself. I mean, he has a hand in the editing. There's something unique. Now, granted, he doesn't do the most sophisticated fight choreography, but the techniques he does, and people will say, well, he only does the same 3 or 4 kicks. He does them so exceptional, better than anyone's ever done them, and he knows how to show it and display it, and it has
right,
that impact. But anyway, like this comment came through, and the guy was complaining, well, why don't you say Donnie Yen or Jackie Chan? You know, they do better fights. Why? And the guy literally said that's white supremacist thinking, and that thought would have never like people who like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Nobody cares he's from Belgium. I mean,
right,
granted, maybe if somebody's from Belgium, they might be like, oh, this is kind of cool. He's from my country. But aside from that, nobody cares. So the video I'm going to make is that people like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Lee, Mike Tyson, they transcend race. Like they
right,
inspire everybody, and nobody
everybody.
thinks about Mike Tyson as like, oh, he's the black boxer, or Bruce Lee, he's the Chinese kung fu guy, or
Right,
Van Damme, he's the white karate guy. It's like, no, like they transcend race, like what they've
right,
done. Like when I'm hitting a bag, I'm thinking I want to be like Mike Tyson. You know,
right,
when I'm
right,
kicking, I want to be like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like I don't care about any of these dudes' races, you know?
right,
So
right.
just
I
that
mean,
comment, like, so you're saying if I like Van Damme, I'm thinking like a white supremacist? That makes no sense. You know, like so if I say Bruce Lee's the best, am I like an Asian supremacist? Or if I say Mike Tyson's the best boxer, am I a black supremacist? Like the argument makes no sense, man.
well, see, somebody may listen to this and say that I'm racist because of a statement that I made earlier when I said, as much as I like and idolize Bruce Lee, it was just something about Jim Kelly that got my attention.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
You know, somebody, oh yeah, of course you're gonna go with the black guy.
That's funny. Yeah, somebody will find whatever statement to use for their argument or their bias, but they're already coming into that, you know, and they'll just parse this. Oh, this fits what I believe about this guy anyway, so I'll just use this for my argument, you know.
Right.
Oh, by the way, you can't tell by looking at him, but Eddie Swanson is in his 60s. He broke powerlifting records when he was 50. This man doesn't age. And the reason I bring that up is because he wrote a book called The Real Fountain of Youth. I will link it in the description below if you want to pick it up from Amazon. I'm sure there's something all of us can learn from that. Okay, so going back to Andrew Lee, I'm pretty sure the vast majority of you think that he made the stupidest comment ever. At least I hope you do, because the reason why we like Jean-Claude Van Damme is not because he's white, and it's not like a supremacist way of thinking if we happen to think he's the best at what he does, in this case, as a martial arts movie star. But it's almost just like a commentary, though, on society where we can't appreciate or like a white person for their accomplishments because I guess it's just not socially acceptable these days in some ways. At least it seems like that if you go with the mainstream narrative. Again, I don't want to get political, so let's put that aside. But let's talk about the impact he's had, the inspiration. So a lot of you guys are like me. You got into weightlifting, you got into martial arts because of people like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Maybe some other guys similar. But again, these are the kind of guys that got you into it. They transcend race. They inspire people globally around the world, and for good reason. Now, here's something interesting I pointed out in that Why Jean-Claude Van Damme is the Best Screen Fighter Ever video. Speaking of his karate, I do want to bring up an important point, which is something that made him stand out in the crowd, at least in the era when he started breaking out. And it's really the same thing that made somebody like Eminem stick out, or Tiger Woods stick out, or even Serena and Venus Williams stick out. All these people have such a high level of skill at their craft, but none of them look like the prototypical person that's generally associated with their profession. Everyone in that example, in my opinion, helps shatter stereotypes of certain groups of people being involved in certain activities, whether it be different sports, music, or in this case, martial arts. Because at the time in the 80s, at least in America, you typically associate someone highly skilled in martial arts to be an Asian guy. This stereotype was even portrayed in the movie Revenge of the Nerds.
You know karate? No. Good.
But people like Van Damme and others in that example, like the Williams sisters, Eminem, Tiger Woods, I think do a good job of smashing these stereotypes and opening minds, especially young impressionable minds growing up, because when they see someone successful in a certain field that might kind of look like them, it's easier for them to see themselves in that field as well. So, in my opinion, all these people help unite humanity and in some ways just take race out of the equation altogether. In other words, they transcend race. But here's a really cool thing about Jean-Claude Van Damme I found out. I'm going to share some examples of people he inspired outside of the martial arts and bodybuilding world. So this is really cool, and I'll link this link if you want to watch the trailer. This is on Jean-Claude Van Damme's official YouTube page. It's like a trailer for this documentary. It's called How Did Jean-Claude Van Damme Inspire the Kuduro Dance in Africa? So Kuduro is a type of music and dance from Angola. It's characterized as up-tempo, energetic, and danceable. According to Tony Amado, self-proclaimed creator of Kuduro, he got the idea for the dance after seeing Jean-Claude Van Damme in the 1989 film Kickboxer, in which he appears in a bar drunk and dances in a hard and unusual style.
Van Damme, estamos aqui em Angola à tua espera! Van Damme! Van Damme! Van Damme!
How freaking awesome is that? Van Damme helped inspire this dance, like, that's a big part of this whole nation. Like, they're in love with Jean-Claude Van Damme like so many of us are. And here's another cool thing. So I got a message from this guy from Australia. His name's Sid Irwin from Instagram. I'll link it in the description below if you want to check out his Instagram. But anyway, he's a yoga and gymnastics instructor. And a lot of his students came to him because they were inspired by Jean-Claude Van Damme. They want to do these moves that Van Damme did in the movie Replicant. So again, here's a group of non-bodybuilders, non-martial artists. They want to do like these gymnastics moves because of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This is what my student first saw. I was a yoga teacher for a while, and she said, I want to be able to do things that Jean-Claude Van Damme could do, like handstands. And I always believed that Van Damme could handstand, but I never saw him actually do it. And I said, well, listen, I don't teach martial arts, and I've never really seen Van Damme do like a press handstand or a planche, right? And she said, watch The Replicant, and she read about it. And when he done this, there was no wires attached to his leg. There was no stunt double. He did the whole thing. What amazes me about this is that he has never had any gymnastic training, and when you look at that, he is on the same level as Dylan Werner and Andrei Bondarenko.
Now look at all these people Jean-Claude Van Damme has inspired around the world. Australia, Africa, United States, obviously all over the place, all different people. Not just bodybuilders and martial arts, we're talking dancers, we're talking, yoga and gymnastics people. So this is amazing. Van Damme unites humanity. He inspires so many of us to do so many different activities, and in trying to build the kind of skills that he's acquired, we build self-discipline. We improve in different areas of our lives that we can take to, elevate other areas of our life and elevate each other. It just makes the world a better place. But if you go with Andrew Lee's sick, twisted, toxic logic, you can't like him, you can't appreciate him, because he's a white guy and, well, that'll make you a certain way of thinking. Yeah, get the hell out of here, Andrew Lee. So anyway, he did make another comment on that video. He said, LOL, JCVD can never be the best on-screen action actor. Blade was so much better than most of his films. Have you ever watched a movie called Dragon Tiger Gate and the Ip Man films? No white actor can beat the original actors and actresses from Hong Kong. You have a white supremacist thinking and mostly elevate white martial artists on your channel and action stars. You're the one that is disgusting. All caps, F you, I'm unsubscribing from this shit. So I replied, good riddance. I don't want your hateful attitude here. Everyone I talk about on the channel transcends race. People like them because of what they've accomplished, not based on how they were born. Anyway, guys, I had to get that off my chest because, again, I just can't believe somebody would even think about going there. It's such a toxic mindset. Like, come on, can we like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Arnold or Stallone for what they've done and not based on, oh, no, can't like them, they're white guys. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole video and topic. I'll see you guys next time. I'll be back, like Arnold says.
I'll be back.